right, what's up? What's up, my yogis? I have a snappy little flow coming for you today. I'm Champion Yogi, and this is what we do. It is strengthening yoga, reps and sets, routines coming for you. Today, we're going to work on these quads. We're going to sit in some chairs. So, like I said, it's a quick little routine. We're going to go through three routines, three exercises, or three transitions is the best way to say it. It's three yoga transitions that we're putting together to do a nice little exercise. It's going to work on your quads. It's going to lengthen out your legs. It's going to work on your balance a little bit as well. So it's going to train those stabilizers muscles a little bit. Working with all of that is just strengthening all of the legs and more so giving you that space where you can move your body more comfortably. I have my blocks, as you can see. So get your blocks if you want to use them. I'll show you how to use them. I'll show you how to challenge yourself. I'll show you how to make it more accessible and more gentle for you to make sure you get the movements, the strengthening, the challenge that you were looking for today. Okay. Use it as you want to, go through it all you like, but we are going to hop into it. Now, before we get into all of those chairs that we're going to do, because we're going to do a lot of chairs today, we're going to warm up the body a little bit so we don't just throw our legs to the wolves. All right. So we're going to start with some very simple movements. I'm just warming up the ankle. So I just want you to come to a space, your mountain pose. This is the usual yoga space, right? Your mountain pose, your toes and heels equally apart. You want to shift your weight into the heels of your feet and bring your body, ankles, knees, hips, nice and long through the spine, and then the top of your head to the top of your body. You can have your hands in your heart, or you can have your hands on your hips. Either way, this will work out for you. You want to just press into, we'll start onto one foot. Press and lean your body into that opposite foot. Now, you want the weight to stack into that opposite foot right here. I'm pressing into my right foot, shifting into my left. Once the weight stacks here, you mouse into the space. You want to let all that weight be here, and then just maybe lift this foot and rotate the foot around in a circle, clockwise and counterclockwise. Now, maybe you don't really stay in that balance the way I did. Maybe you tap down a few times. Maybe you roll around one time and tap down, and then come back in it. But try to keep that core muscle engagement. And also remember, your head has weight to it. So as you're doing bad, like I'm doing bad, and we're looking down at our feet, try not to do that. Bring the top of your head to the top of your body, and that might help support your balance a little bit better. Can you look down at your feet and still do this balance? Yes, but you need to learn to account for your head being there. Switch to the other side. Roll it around clockwise and counterclockwise. Just giving your ankle some mobility, waking it up, doing all the movements that it does, and allowing yourself to say that this is not the first time my ankles have gotten involved with anything today. Good, let's switch it back to the other side again. Good, again, I'm in my left foot, rolling around my right foot, going left and going right. Roll it out real good. You might hear some snaps, some pops, some cracks. Let's get them out of the way. Don't worry, as long as they don't hurt, they're pretty good for you to let them go. Roll, 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 roll. And now we're going to take that on up the leg into the hips. We're going to get the knees involved as well and the hamstrings involved as well. So again, we'll shift the weight into the left foot, pressing into the right foot, and then take the right knee. Try to drag it in front of the left, lift it up as high as the hips, roll it around in a big circle, and then step it back down into the mat. Shift over to the right. Left knee drags into the right knee, rises up nice and high. We're getting a big hip rotation as we go into the shift back over to the left. Right knee comes across, up nice and high, roll all the way out, and bring it all the way down. Shift it back to the right. Drag knee comes across, roll up nice and high, roll it all the way around. Core muscle engagement. This is what's going to help you with that balance into the space. Remember to keep the weight into the heel of your foot. Your toes are just there for balance, right? So as you start to roll this leg around, the balance is going to shift around because weight is moving into there. So science works. So use your toes in that manner, right? When you lean in this knee over, press into those toes a little bit. Once the knee starts to come away, come out of those toes a little bit. Let the weight sit into the heel of the foot. We're just going to do this for 4 more times. Now 3 more times. Now 2 more times. 1 more time. Good, good, good. Now we're going to take it to the opposite side this time, okay? So, again, we'll start by going to the left. I'm going to shift the weight into the left foot. The right knee rises out high. Roll it around in front of you, and then take it back down. We're just rolling around in the opposite direction. Clockwise and counterclockwise. Making sure we're practicing both sides. Giving your body some good movements to feel good about. And also, you can start to feel a little burn happening in the hips maybe. You start to feel a little burn happening in the quads, lifting the legs up, finding this balance. Maybe even the core muscles are starting to feel a little something. And that's all a part of just warming your body up, giving yourself that space, having some good movements. And these movements just can be really good just before you start your day as well. It's amazing how good it can be just to warm up your body. We're gonna go in four, three, two, and one. Good, good, good. Now we're gonna move into some side lunges right here. So you want to separate your feet nice and wide, find a good wide space. Now, your feet may adjust as we go through this. So that's okay. If your feet start to adjust, let them adjust. If you want to stay right where you are, stay right where you are. If you found a good space and you know your body, great, great for you. All right, so we're just gonna start first by shifting the hips from side to side. So let's take the hands to the hips. Again, I'm shifting away from my right foot over to my left. So a little bend into the left knee, shifting the hips over to that side. And then take it back over to the right, pressing into that left pinky toe so it gets down, shifting your entire body over. Try not to just bend into the knee and keep your shoulders in the center. Try to let your whole body shift over that back heel and then sit back into the heel. You should still be wiggling and playing with those toes. As we continue to do this, we're going to do quite a bit of these. Maybe you bring it down a little deeper. Maybe your hand starts to come down towards the mat. Maybe some blocks. You want to come down a little bit deeper. And just right here, you just find a little bit more space, a little bit more bend. Hang out there for just a second. And this is a movement that you can use at your own breath. Remember, this isn't exactly vinyasa yoga. We're just using a lot of yoga movements here. But in this space, feel free to go a little bit faster if that feels good to you. You like get your heart rate up, get a little bit more pump going. If you just like to get the movements in and allow your body to sit into this space for a little bit, that's also cool too. Take it nice and slow. Do it the way that it works out for you. Slow movements are just as good as fast movements. You might get a lot more of them when you're going faster, but hanging out in this space is building a whole lot of endurance into the muscles that are necessary here. Maybe you want to start to come a little deeper. Rotate that foot up on the opposite side. Yeah, you're just sinking in. Maybe you're up onto the toe. Maybe you're back into your heel. Reaching the hands out to help yourself create that balance in that space. Rolling around to both sides, lengthening out the leg as you rotate the toe up, finding all that stretch throughout your hamstrings. And if you start to feel really warm, feel really good about this, you want to take it into the deepest space, feel free to just bring it all the way in. Try to keep the chest high, press into that pinky toe, lift, shift, and sink right down into it. We're just going to have a few more of these for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take a wide leg forward. Legs nice and wide. Lower your body down. Lift your hips up. Reach the hand for the ankles, or they can just stay right down underneath you. You can also reach through the legs and help pull. Rotate your hips forward. Let your belly lengthen out. Breathe for 4, 3, 2, and then roll your spine all the way up to the top. Heel toe. Bring it together. Starting to feel that warmth a little bit. Last one. We're going to open up these hips with a low yogi squat. And a lot of knees coming. So, where's your yogi squat today? Completely up to you. You want to use your blocks, use your blocks. Take your feet out nice and wide. Toes are out, heels are in. And then maybe just start to bend into the knees and sink down. We're going to stay right here. If it's in your practice, maybe that right knee starts to lower a little closer to the mat. Bring it all the way up. Maybe the left knee can come on that side. The left pinky toe is coming up. The left big toe is staying down. You're finding a whole lot of range of motion here, opening into those hips. If you can sink down a little deeper, come on down a little deeper, as deep as you like it. And again, allowing that knee to melt down towards the mat. It may not come all the way. It may not touch all the way to the floor. That's okay. If you're finding the bottom of your movement, that means you're getting the most out of your movement. With my knee coming down to the mat, I don't know. Maybe I could go down a little deeper, but there's no more space. The floor is there, right? So I'm not sure. I would have to elevate myself to find out if I'm really getting the most out of this. But you, if you're already getting the most out of this right here, then great. You don't even need anymore. It's all worked out for you just fine. Let's go here for 4, 3, 2, And one. Good. We're gonna rise back nice and tall. Woo. Legs are feeling good. Ready to roam. Ready to go. Ready to play with some chairs. All right. So most important thing about this flow is that we come back to our good chair space after all those movements. Some of those movements are gonna start to get into the muscles a little bit and start to make you feel like things are not as important as they used to be. But holding good alignment in that chair is really what's going to strengthen our legs here and really what's making us get to that better space. So again, chair, toes and heels equally apart. Your feet can come all the way together. That could be more comfortable for you. Or heels apart, maybe this is more comfortable for you. Anywhere in between is also a good comfortable space. As you start to sit down, try not to have your weight into your toes. Try to have it coming back into your heels so you can wiggle those toes as much as you like. This much of a bend is very good chair. Your quads are engaged, everything is happening. If you want to take more and go down a whole lot deeper, feel free to take more and go down a whole lot deeper. But it's your choice how deep you get into that. Remember, we're doing transition. Our first transition, we'll talk about them first, and then we'll get into the reps. Our first transition is a chair to forward fold. The most important thing about the chair to forward fold is the body to thigh connection. Remember, you intentionally go into the chair and you intentionally go into the forward fold. So as you go into the forward fold, bring your body to your thighs and start to make it happen. As you come out of it, lift first and then your body will rise out of it. Okay, so let's give that a look really quickly. We'll come down to a chair, nice and deep. Fold the body down to come to the fold. Once your body and thighs are connected, lift the hips up a little bit higher. Good. And then from here, you'll bend the knees, lower the hips back down to come back to your chair, and then lift the body up to come up and hold into your chair, right? So again, keep that body thigh connection as the knees bend and as the hips rise, and that's our space. Our second transition is going to be a chair to warrior three. We'll alternate sides as we go through this. We're going to do about 20 of those to go through it. Okay, so again, we'll start into that chair. You'll shift your weight into one foot, this being my left foot. The right foot will start to slide back behind you and lift. You can keep your hands and your hearts out wide, play with them over your back, reach over your head. Any way you like to do warrior three is always fine. And then again, coming straight out of that warrior three, remember we lengthened this leg to come up to this nice warrior three. We're gonna bend right back into this knee, sink right into the chair, hang out into your space right here. Okay? Now, third round. Third round is where we're gonna add in some challenge. We're gonna lift the knee up into the chest, sink back down into our chair, and also take a quick knee to really work into pressing into that foot, standing nice and taller. This one's gonna help you out as we start to get older, getting up off the floor. All right, so here's how it works. We start into that chair. Good. Now, we'll just shift into one foot and let the opposite knee rise up into the chest, holding that solid right there. Good. And then from here, we're gonna go all the way back, lower that knee down, and come to the space. And then we'll press into the foot, bring it all the way back up, nice and high. And that's when we'll start to find our transition. Sink back into the chair, hang out right here. Very good. Then from here, take it back up, take it back down, take it back up, sink back into the chair. And we're gonna go through a few of those. So let's get the legs ready. Let's hop into this. Let's not hold it up any longer. Time to get this work. Let's do it. Come to the top of your mat. Toes, heels, equally apart. We're working with that chair to forward fold. We're gonna have about 15 of those. Okay, so let's get into it. Roll the shoulders back, body stacked over the heels. Play around with those toes. Inhale and reach the hands all the way up. Exhale, sink into your chair. You can keep the hands up or you can bring the hands to the heart. Exhale, fold the body down, lift the hips up. Bend into the knees, lower the hips down, lift the body up. Good, let's keep it going. Fold down, lift up, lower the hips, lift the chest. Good, nice, we're doing it right here. Maybe exhale as you fold down to really blow the air out of the body, and inhale as you rise up. Take it nice and slow. Use your breath. Make sure the weight is into the heels. You should still be able to play with those toes. Here we go for 6. Nice, take it down, find a nice long one. Sink back in, 7. Good, bring it down, lift the hips. Bring it down, lift the chest. 8. Bring it down, lift the hips. Bring it down, lift the chest. Keep that body to the top connection. Remember, don't lift your hips so high that your body starts to separate. Keep that connection. Only lift the hips as high enough to find a good stretch, but at the same time, keep that connection. And remember to bring the top of the head down to the top of the body. 12. Hips down, chest up. 13. Let it rise. Keep pulling. Hips down, chest up. One more time. Bring it down. Let it rise. Sink down. Lift it up. Stand tall. Take it out. Here we go. Let it breathe. Going in. We're headed to those warrior threes in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Find your chair. Hands can be in the heart or over the head. Sink all the way into the chair. Shift into your left foot. Right leg goes back. Nice. Have any space with your hands that you find. Find that chair again first. Go over to the right. Left leg goes back. Good. Taking it back to the left. Sink into the chair first. Reach. Good. Sink back into that chair. Find it nice and deep. Shift over to the right. Remember, pull those back toes towards your nose as you go to this warrior three. Sink back in. Take it out back long. Sink back in. Good for 8. Sink back in. Taking it to warrior three. 9. Sink back in. Back to warrior three. 10. Now remember, we have these blocks here. Maybe you want to go use them and they'll support your balance. Sink back in. Warrior three. Sink back in. Warrior three. Allow that to space to be there for you. I promise those quads will still work. Keep it going. Sink in. 15. Sink in. 16. Sink in. 17. 18. Sink deep. 19. One more. And 20. Good. Stand tall. Shake it out. Let it go. We got to take that knee. We're going down to the mat. Rising back up. Remember, use the heel of your foot to rise up nice and tall. We're going to alternate sides again. We only have 10 of these. Here we go in 5, 4, 3. We start by finding that chair. Good. Shift over to the left foot. Let the right knee rise up. Nice. Right knee is going to come down to the mat. If you want to lower that foot first, it'll support you lowering the knee down. Also, remember, you can bring the hands down. We're shifting all the way back up. Press into that left foot. Stand tall. Once you're tall, right knee back up into the chest. And then bend into this left knee. Keep this right knee up as high as you can to come all the way back to that chair. Shift over to the right. Press out of that chair. Keeping that knee just as bent as it already was. Lowering the knee down to the mat. Bring the knee all the way back up. And then bend into the right knee. Find that chair again. Shift over. Rise up. Knee comes down. Knee all the way back up. Sink into that left heel. Still wiggling those toes over to the right. Rising all the way up. Bringing that knee down. Taking it back up. And sink back into that chair. Remember, try to keep that knee, that floating knee, under control. We're doing all the pressure throughout our base foot. Good. Let's take it back over. Lower down. Bring it back up. Switching it for one last rodeo. Come back to that chair. Shift over to the other side. Left knee up. Left knee all the way down. Left knee all the way back. Bend into that right knee and sink back into that chair. Stand tall. Take it out. Let it go. Let it breathe. We got through one round. How's your body feeling? Shake it all out. Let it all go. Have a little bit of water. Do whatever you need. We're going to do it one more time. As always, I'm going to be here with you one more round. This round, we're going to push and fly through it. Now, I'm going to take any breaks. We're just going to have a whole lot of fun. But that third round, if you feel like you need it, you have at it. If you don't want it, then you leave it alone. And you acknowledge what you did was enough for you today. I strongly suggest that third round, but it's completely up to you. You have to hold yourself accountable. That's what it's all about. We're starting to those chair to forward folds. We have 15. Let's count them out. Toes, heels, equally apart. Inhale, the shoulders back. Inhale. Reach the hands up. Exhale. Sink into that chair. Fold. Body down. Hips up. One. Good. Hips down. Body up. Body down. Hips up. Two. Sink down. Lift up. Body down. Hips up. Three. Sink down. Lift it up. Take it down. And four. Find the stretch that feels good to you. Remember, as you lift those hips up, you still want to keep that body to thigh connection. Six. Sink in. Lift up. Do it again. Seven. Only find the stretch that feels good to you. Maybe it's just a little lift, and that's cool. That's your space as long as you found that stretch. Here we go. 10. We have 5 more. Sink in and lift. Bring it down. 11. Sink in. Bring it up. Bring it down. 12. Bring it down. Lift. 13. Lift. 14. Sink in. Lift. 15. Sink in. Warrior 3. Take the right leg back, lengthen the left leg. Sink back in. Left leg back. 2. Sink in. Right leg back. 3. Sink in. Left leg back. 4. Sink in. Right leg back. 5. Sink in. Left leg back. 6. We got this. Keep moving with me. I know it's starting to get uncomfortable, but that's where the work is. That's where the strength is. And that's when it's all starting to happen for you. That's 12. Let's keep it going. 13. Sink. 14. Sink. Remember, use those hands to support your balance. That's totally cool. Or let them fly. Give yourself a little more challenge. Last 2. 19. Sink down one more time. And 20. Good. Rise all the way up. Here we go. We're going into that kneel. Hands to the heart. Sink into the chair. Shift over to the left. Right knee comes up. Right knee comes down. Right knee comes up. Bring it all the way to that chair. Other side. Left knee. Left knee. Left knee. And all the way back to the chair. Remember, if you're looking for a little support, lower that foot first and then lower the knee. And then lift the knee first and then lift the foot before you sink back in. Looking for a little more challenge? Keep that foot lifted and lower that knee all the way down. And then try to lift that knee without the foot as well. Good, that's 4. Let's keep it going. 5. Sink down. Other side. 6. Sink down. Other side. 7. Other side. Here we go for 9. Bring it down, other side. Rise it up. Take it back. All the way back up. One more time. Go down deep. Left knee up. Left knee down. Left knee back up. Sink back in. Stand tall. You did it. We made it. If you are done with me, if that was too much, feel free to bring it on down. Take it to the mat. Stretch out your quads. Stretch out your hamstring. Roll the legs around again. Do any free movements that feel good to you. If you're going for another round, take this breather and then hop right back into that next round. Do it all over again. Add the spaces if you like, or just flow it all the way together and give yourself all the work you desire. Remember, I'm Champion Yogi. If you're looking to flow with me, you're looking to have a private with me, you want me to explain any of this to you, feel free to reach out to me on all my platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I'm here. Find me. Click on the link in my bio. That'll take you straight to my website. Book these sessions. Let's talk about it together. Let me help you get to the space where you feel better in your movements. Until then, I leave you with light, love, and peace. Namaste.